Okay, so um, what did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? I don't mean it like a teacher asking or a parent asking their child over the dinner table, what did they learn today? Because I don't want well, I'm kind of answer. You know what I want you to learn? That you are smarter than you think. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You can't pick it. None of us got down here on our own. So, however we got down here, we have to be here for a purpose, for a reason that doesn't have anything to do with us. It has everything to do with the person that sent us here, or whatever. If you believe you got here on a spaceship or something, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that there were some people out there who have been led to believe that that would be an option for their presence. So, um, somebody told me this week. Now, sometimes on my days off, I drink beer. So let's just keep it real. All right. And I got slight PTSD, slight, and it has something to do with noise. But I got to tell you, I got it honest because my dad was like that too. He had seven kids with my mom, and he had three more kids by my mom that I will never have the chance to meet. But he was a good father. He'd come around. He was the antithesis of Papa was a Rolling Stone. I'm just saying. Some of you are old enough to remember that kind of song. So um, uh, he didn't like noise either. He didn't like a lot of conversations going on. So with kids, whenever he came around, we always had to behave and stuff like that. But we didn't care. It was dad, and so what I want for you to do is I want you to have someone say something to you like this when you're having mild PTSD and you've been having your beers and stuff like that there. But my, my problem is not so much the noise, but I live on a hill that is in a valley. I don't know if you are from Pittsburgh or not, or if you ever been from Pittsburgh, but a lot of the places are on inclines, streets, and stuff like that there. So the noise at the bottom of the street, you hear it all the way as far as that noise will carry. Now, my thing is dogs, okay, and the burro trucks and the police cars, okay. So I'm trying to retire, and that didn't go so swell. I don't even like the trains. I could never figure out why in this neighborhood why a train would sit still and honk his horn for I don't know long enough for it to become annoying. I tell you that. So it was best for me just to keep the peace. That I'm go back to my just over broke, which you will come to know is Job, Job. Okay, not Job. He had a job and he was doing very well, but you see what happened to him, and then how he got rescued from that situation. So I just want you to know that I know about Job, I know about just over broke, and I know about Job. Okay, so I felt for me to just keep the peace, I should go back to work. I'm part time, which all of my life I wanted to work part time, but that's all they had was a full time positions. And I guess they had part time jobs in fast food restaurants, but some of the employees in a fast food restaurant, their working style would make me work harder or cover for them or whatever, whatever. Like it when I worked in the fast food restaurant, if the manager needs somebody to take out the trash, she got three people here. What are you going to ask me to take out the trash for? I'm new. I don't even know where the dumpster is. Okay, so anyway, just a little insight on why I wouldn't take the on part-time positions at a fast food place. Nothing against the fast food places. When I was younger, that was basically how I fed myself. I just go to work, and if you work there, they'd give you a meal or something for free. So hey, man, I might have only had eaten once a day, but like I said, I come from a family of seven, so I wasn't eating 3 meals a day all my life anyway. So I never had this food thing. I didn't live to eat. I would eat to live. Now I wasn't thinking like that when I was a child. When I was a child, I thought like a child. When I became an adult, I when I became a man, I think like a man, and I try to reason um, and I'm trying to figure it out. But anyway, uh, so with the dogs, when they bark, and since it's on a hill, there's only two or three dogs that will do this. Okay, whenever the owner lets them out, they'll come all the way to the back of the yard, which extends into what was probably used to be a street, but it's overgrown now, so it isn't a street anymore. But I'm pretty sure it's maintained by the sea. Okay, so no neighbor owns that particular um, plot of land or whatever, or that part of the neighborhood. And coincidentally, the people who have the dogs, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean three, I meant two. Okay, now I want you to know that there are a lot of dogs in my neighborhood who you don't hear bark. Okay, now, I know that there's a lot of dogs in my neighborhood because when I sit on the porch, the people will walk their dogs. I see them coming up and down my inclined street every day whenever I'm off or um, I'm daylight savings time. It doesn't get dark until like 9 o'clock or something. Okay. So anyway, I guess what whenever they come home, they take their dog for a walk. Never hear them barking, except for these two dogs, and they're right across the street from me. And since I'm on an incline, if I have my door open, and it's even worse if I'm sitting on a porch because I got mild PTSD, and then I have a couple of beers, and we're just going to let this work itself out. Okay. But when they bark, it comes right into my apartment. It's it's crazy. You can't make this up. So sometimes when it gets a little bit much for me, I'll go down and I'll say something about it. Ah, boy. So now I'm learning about how to communicate with people without actually confronting them. Okay, so I haven't been afraid of people for years, but so I didn't know, that would go so bad. But the the lady and both of these dogs. Oh no, I'm right. Oh yeah, it was 3 yards. Okay, so the lady's dog was barking, and it kind of got on my nerve. So I went down there, and on the way, she let's just say she lives in the third house. And on the way, the person for the second house who was coming out of their alley, and I know that they have a dog thing too. And I asked him, I said, "Is that your dog?" He said, "No, it's hers." So he pointed to the next house. And I don't have any bad experiences with this lady, and even if there are some men in there, the, the lady kind of stood out because she kept her granddaughter or niece or whatever, and she was the cutest little girl. She was one of them cute girls. Um, she couldn't have been 10, and she used to have a Kool-Aid stand. I know. Y'all say it should be a lemonade stand, but in my neighborhood, it's a Kool-Aid stand. I digress. So I would send I'm kids. I'm down there. Hey, I'm go buy some Kool-Aid from this kid. She only wanted like a quarter a cup or something like that there, and I always have that kind of change in my little um, uh, dashboard thing, whatever it's called. So it wasn't a problem to do that. She used to buy her princess little castle things, and she was just a good kid. She was good all around, and I never seen any of the other little kids mess with her. But that don't mean they didn't. But they she had a good relationship. So I don't have any bad things with my particular neighbor except for that dog. Because again, I just want you to know I like dogs. Our family always had dogs. We had Dobermans and I'm German Shepherds. We didn't have no little Chihuahuas that bark the entire time that their neighbors are gone. But I digress. I know we had a one German Shepherd, and I think he would bark so much that it got on my neighbor's nerve across the street when we were younger. And the guy had a BB gun, and he would shoot at him. I guess to shut him up or something. I don't know, but I never really asked him. But I did step to him about it. Because you don't want your I'm dog. I'm getting shot at, and I really wanted to be cautious with him because he had a pit bull and he trained his pit bull. Some people train their pit bulls, they'll stick a brick in their mouth and take him for a walk and the dog won't let the brick go. He was one of them kind of people. So anyway, um, uh, um, so, but we always had dogs. So when I got my first place on my own, I actually got a dog. And I actually liked it. It was a pit bull shepherd mix. You can't make this up. That's the kind of dogs that we had all our lives. He was kind of reddish brown. So I liked him or her. I liked her until one day I was taking her for a ride. I probably should have been taking her for a walk, and she got car sick. And I had a van at that time, and she got on the back seat and she uh, unloaded. I'm back there. Our relationship kind of went down because it was a pretty nice van, and I never cleaned up. I'm throw up before. Uh, I got grandkids, so I have since then. But so she kind of lost favor with me a little bit. I used to like to take her for a walk, but I wouldn't take her that far. Well, I had this game where I would hide from her and see if she would come find me. And for a couple of times, she would, but so I would let her off the chain. And then I learned how afraid people are of dogs. So she didn't come find me real quick. So I came out of my hiding place, and she was standing on the sidewalk, and there was this guy there who was afraid. And you know how you do. Oh, she won't bite. She won't bite. And sure enough, she growled. I'm like, you know what? So anyway, that incident didn't go so well. But the person was not bit. Okay, so that wasn't a problem. But so I learned that, and then I also learned that she wasn't spayed or neutered, and I learned that they get pregnant or have puppies. And I actually had a puppy fall down a drain in the basement. And so, we called 911. They said call the animal rescue league people, or they would transfer me or something like that there. And they had this tool that would reach down in the drain and pick the puppy up. Now, the reason why, or out the drain, but the reason why I know that the puppy was in the drain because I could hear it barking upstairs. And I was living on the second floor. I'm like, why does that sound so clear? Because it was actually coming up from the sink. And eventually I went downstairs and I found that the drain got moved. But this puppy barely had its eyes open or something. I don't know. I was a landlord at the time, and it didn't dawn on me that my neighbors or my tenants didn't like dogs. I guess they figured, they wouldn't say anything, but I think that drain got moved by one of them people, and I think they might have dropped that poor thing down there because they were still weaning, and they weren't that curious yet. But anyway, I'm just trying to let you know that I like dogs. So dogs barking aren't the problem. What I don't like is that part where you have to clean up after them. And I think my mom, I had her in the first floor, and I had the second floor of a property that I was just trying to rent out. Blah blah blah. So I didn't like her particular windows because they were kind of shabby, but I mean you could lock them and stuff like that. So anyway, a big warehouse behind us caught got caught on fire. So they replaced the siding. Their insurance replaced the siding, and I think they replaced a couple of windows, but they left those two in the back where the dog is. They didn't fix those. I guess the insurance said, "Hey, you do four windows and that's it." I don't know how that worked because at the time I had two jobs and a full time job and a part time job because when you own something, you have to pay for it. you know, I like that deal that the Heavenly Father made with us, where He said that He would give us houses and lands that we did not buy or build. I think that's a better deal, but you know, it is what it is. I went and bought the thing, and it was the worst mistake I ever made. But you learn from it, and I haven't bought a house since then. And I probably still could. I mean, even at my age, it wouldn't be that big a deal to go out and buy one, especially because I'm getting right knowledge. I'm getting to know about contracts and uh, legal documents and becoming a creditor and stuff like that there, which this is the reason why I actually started the thing. I wanted you to be in a position to learn something new. So I knocked on a lady's door and I asked her if that was her dog barking. Don't you know? She said, finally, somebody with some sense. No, I did not see that one coming. You know, I didn't even know what I was going to say to her because I thought it was her neighbor, and it wasn't that far from where I saw the guy who lives in the second house to her house, the third house. So I didn't. I had nothing. I had nothing for her. So I just asked her if that was her dog, and the people in the first two houses, they have a total of three dogs. So the first house has two, and it's on a corner. So when I'm sitting outside, since I live on an incline, when they bark, it just they put them out at different times. Sometimes they put them out together, and whenever they put them out together, it's not like a barking fighting contest. But when they're out there individually, they bark the entire time they're outside. And I just want you to know, from my experience, I just told you that I don't have problems with dogs. I was just a caregiver for my brother, and he had a dog and a cat. So anyway, that's a story for later. Um, I was a caretaker for his house. So anyway, so what I did for these first two people, I posted something on their mailboxes. I didn't violate their property line so much where it would have been threatening. I mean, if I had to went up and put it on the door, okay, I could see where they might have an issue. But I posted my little comment on a little piece of paper. Here's what I wrote: "Hey, those are your pets, not ours." And since I'm kind of known for complaining about the dogs, I'm pretty sure they knew who that came from. So they're getting better. Now, I want you to know that I listened to them dogs do that for years. I'm not sure, but I think I've been in this current address about 10, 12 years, something like that there. I don't exactly remember the date I moved in. I just remember what I was doing. And if it was noteworthy, I'll be able to find it later because I wasn't a big picture taker. I never really been a big picture taker. And I mean, I probably could have been. I got one of the first cell phones whenever they came out, and I got one from my mom, so that if she needed to call me or something, she could. And that bill was $300 a month. I was like, oh, so I complained about it. They were like, oh, don't worry, it won't be that high next month. It was. I was like, okay, well, we won't be using these. So anyway, uh, so once I learned how to communicate by using documents and stuff like that, there as opposed to knocking on people's doors and stuff. I mean, it's kind of a weird situation I have with them. So if it's like freezing cold outside and I hop in my hoopty, and if I go to the store and I come back and the dog is outside, I'll go knock on the door. I'll be like, hey man, that dog been out there for a minute. It's freezing cold out here. So we kind of had that kind of relationship with the people in the first house. But once I learned how to communicate with them with documents, they got it together. Complaining has its value. You just have to do it right. Okay. All right. I mean, you can't be like a Karen, and I'm going out there and hollering and screaming at people about things that are bothering you, because the first thing that they're going to do is try to take care of that hollering and screaming, and you're going to lose your point that you were trying to make. So it's better to communicate um, with documents, let their voice be heard in their head as they're reading the document, and let them work it out. So there is value in documents. So if you watch the Deprogrammed Enlightener, he will teach you how to do that. Um, okay. So he gives you right knowledge, and I can tell it's right knowledge because I tried it and it worked. Um, I don't write documents, but I've been a clerk um, on and off throughout my years. So I knew about documents, but I only knew about documents that were supposed to be given to others. I was not a document person. I'm ex military. And when I came home and had to do some kind of documentation with the VA or something, they filled out the forms. I didn't, all they had to do was sign it. So I didn't even know what was really on there. But um, when I'm with the true disciples of Christ and a Tazadaq Shaw, when I'm with these brothers, I'm learning what's on the documents, and I actually type them myself. So I know everything that's on that document. So if I get tricked, they can't trick me about the document. But court's got other tricks. You'll learn about that too. So if you get a chance, just listen to the guy. He's a professional, but he's not a slick presenter or anything. He just gives it to you raw. It's, and I'm able to learn that way. I don't like these YouTube videos where if you're over 64, you can collect $2,088, $888 over a year. So I don't like when something is presented slick like that. So I like him. He explains it the way I understand it. I'm good. Okay. So he usually is on Tuesdays. He usually does sporadic videos throughout the week. So sometimes I get to watch them while I'm on my just over broke. And then later on, he'll come on at a scheduled time. So, for example, on YouTube, they'll tell you, hey, David is going to go live in 30 minutes or something like that. I don't know. All right. So so that's how I know he's doing something, because I'm usually on YouTube anyway, because I don't really watch TV. I watch YouTube all day, and I might watch whatever YouTube, whatever I like on YouTube. But I don't watch TV. I don't. I got on YouTube because I got sick of these commercials. I literally did. I don't want to paint this word picture for you, but I'm so sick of commercials. If I see one, it kind of makes me sick to my stomach. And I'm not a person who gets sick. I'm not a hypochondriac or anything. So I just stopped watching TV. I got a desktop and I got a laptop, and I was good. I can watch the desktop in the house. I could watch at the laptop on the porch, except for times when it's too bright or something like that. There, I'm like, oh. So that wasn't the best plan, but it did work. Um, and I would now I'd take my laptop to work with me. We had a couple TVs I'm taking over the course of my employment there, and so what they decided to do was the guy who was bringing in the TV, he was like, "Look, man, I'm not leaving this in here overnight or anything," which I was fine with it because I had the internet, and when I did watch the TV, I would watch YouTube. I'm just starting to get around because my hours are kind of adding up here because the boss wants to go do something for 2 months. Must be nice to be the king. So I decided I would go ahead and cover for him. So I'm part time, but in a while it'll resemble full time because I'll actually go 5 days a week. But the hours are I'm flexible, so that's fine. Um, but I'm getting back to the deprogrammed enlightener and the true disciples of Christ and stuff. You're going to learn some stuff. Um, you're going to learn it from regular people, and hey, you might even learn something from me. Even though I've had a couple of beers and stuff, and I don't know why the man lets me on his channel, but he does, and if they seem to care for me, whatever their uh, thoughts are, they just seem to put up with me because they are better than what I'm doing. They're trying to help others. So that's what you're going to find. You're going to find help there. You're going to find this new word. It's called remedy. Okay. And usually, if he's teaching you something on the Deprogram Enlightener channel, he'll show it to you in the Bible without making the Bible say what he wants it to say. Now, everything that the leader talks about may not be in the Bible, but he will. If somebody who reads the Bible, been reading the Bible all their life, most of what they're going to say is going to come from the Bible. It'll just be the way they say it. So he does this thing where he always tries to come up with scriptures. So this way, it's just not his opinion, but he's making the connection between being a creditor and a debtor, which I don't know if you know the Bible, but the Bible says, "Owe no man anything." And so if you owe a man something, then you are a debtor. Okay. So he shows you it like that. He'll actually tell you the scripture where I'm just going from memory. I've taken the word and hit it in my heart. I can finish a lot of the stories in the Bible. If someone else is teaching, I kind of understand where they're going because I've read it on and off for years, years, and now found these brothers and sisters, and they're doing it too. That they're learning, they're reading the scriptures, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So, but whatever he's going to say, impromptu in the afternoon when you get one of those, hey, he'll be live in 30 minutes things, and what he teaches in the evening on Tuesdays will be Bible study. Okay, and if you're proficient in what you're learning from him, if you retained it, uh, you'll want to incorporate that with your learning. So blah blah blah. I can't explain it. Usually, I will just give some one that I'm trying to come into faith. I just give them a business card and let them do it at their leisure. Because if you listen to me, I may get it wrong, but I got to straighten my head though. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to learn about this channel. It's on YouTube. The Deprogrammed Enlightener is all one word. The Deprogrammed Enlightener, all one word. The True Disciples of Christ, all one word, all small letters. Also known as TDOC is their short or abbreviated word or something. So, for example, I used to go to the Covenant Church of Pittsburgh, but they are also known as CCOP. Get it? Okay, so um, you could still learn. You could find out uh, that you are smarter than you think. Um, you're going to get energized from the inside out. Okay, because they they will lead you to the water, but they can't make you drink. But like water, they'll always go to the Bible. They'll so I mean it depends. So anyway, if you ever wanted to learn how to do the high holy days and keep those the way they're described in the Bible, that they do that. I think everyone who has ever studied the Bible knows that the men are supposed to come together 3 times a year. You know, um, I don't know why the churches I went through, I don't know why they hadn't done that, but I read it and I knew about it. But these are the first people that I found who are actually doing it. Now, I want to tell you something. Anytime you hear me say these people or those people, when you look around, you're going to see I'm with them. These are my people. I have no need of anything, okay, except for their correction, because they will correct you. Ladies, you just got to get ready for that. You might learn something that you didn't know. I do, I do stuff because that's what I was taught. For years, I didn't grow hair because, you know, the first thing I did was when I went to the military, they cut my hair. And for years after that, I kept it short, just the way I always got it cut. But now I'm learning to leave my hair alone and see what it's going to do. And I kind of like it. I'm this way. You're going to learn how to stop doing things because you always did it. You're going to learn how to stop doing things because people said it. Okay. You're going to learn what the difference is between someone driving and someone not driving. He'll give you the words to use, and your brain will figure it out. I'm telling you, you're smarter than you think. It's just for some reason you haven't met enough people who are willing to encourage you, unless you got a skill or a gift or something like that. There, I mean, if you rap or something, you're always going to rap. It's whether you sell a rap song or not. If you're a singer, you'll just sing, and people will encourage you to do that if you're good at it. I'm telling you right now, if somebody can't sing, don't be nice and tell them, "Oh, you know what? You got a nice voice," because you're going to hear it again. It is better that you just, I don't know, come up with some other kind of answer like, you know, hey, keep practicing, you'll get it, something like that. There. So I want you to get this new information. I want you to be happy. Um, you're just you don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be suicidal or anything. I believe that you are like that because you have to be like that to keep you from doing what you were created to do. Um, in my opinion. Okay, so you have your own thing with that. So I'm not trying to influence that at all. It's just uh, I just want you to live. I want you to know that you didn't put yourself here. And once you got here, if things affected you in such a way where you're depressed, if things affect you in such a way that you feel suicidal and stuff like that, there, if you get with a bunch of people who are trying to do the Bible right, who are trying to encourage you right, you're going to understand from the inside out that, hey, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And it is my prayer that depression spirit and that suicide spirit leaves you. Now, and as much as it depends on me, that is my prayer for you. Okay, so that's it. Um, are there any questions? I know I talked about a lot. I guess you can type it in. I haven't done a YouTube video in a while, but I think you could click on the words that say something, and then you can go ahead and type it in. Since I didn't make this a video where I can have people come in and talk at the same time, which is really weird. I should know how to do that because I started on YouTube. I'm doing videos back in 2009 or 2010 or something. But back then, I was just on the live videos, and it was a little bit different back then. Now the college kids are in there, and you can't even download a video on YouTube. I got a library of saved YouTube downloaded videos, but now all of a sudden they want you to pay for it. I'm like, oh, wait, that's people. Don't you understand? You're messing up a good thing, and you lost a lot of people doing that. People have issues with data. They don't have unlimited data. So, for example, I was I was I was hard pressed to get people to come from my Facebook page over to my YouTube page, and it took me years to figure out that. Well, one of the reasons why, because I never confronted my people who follow me on Facebook or my friends on Facebook. Um, I I had to figure out why. So I learned over time about this data and this data limit. So we don't want to uh, watch it and then I'm trying to download it because it's going to take data to watch it, and then it takes data to download it. So I kind of get that. So to make a long story short, I did finally move up to a plan where I have unlimited data. And then they got this thing: if you have unlimited data, if you reach a certain amount of data usage, uh, they slow your data down. They got something for you. Then you have to pay them to get more data. Everybody wants to get paid, but you're not really thinking what you're um, what's happening to your customers. It's you're just gouging them. I went to pay my in auto insurance today, and since I'm paying it late because my automatic card payment didn't go through, and it was $10 extra. I didn't even bother asking them why it was $10 extra, um, because try as they may, you're not going to be able to justify charging somebody $10 extra because they pay their bill late. You're just not going to be able to do it. Um, I mean, even if you have to send out a letter to remind them, but now everything's online. Now everything is electronic. You could tell me right online on Yahoo or something, hey, your payment didn't go through. Now, how much does that cost? I mean, that doesn't justify you charging me $10 more, but it is what it is. So that's all I got. I just wanted to go on a little bit to see if anybody wanted to ask a question. Okay, so peace, shalom. learn some new words, and you'll become happy. Stop listening to them same old words that's keeping you stuck. You can still grow if I'm at my age, and if I could still grow, if I could still learn something, I'm pretty sure you can. If you're my age or younger, and I just want you to learn from this particular group of people that I'm learning from. Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, so that's my story. I don't usually recommend people, and you know why, but I do recommend them. So this is David, and I'm going to try to do more live YouTube videos because I do videos maybe 2 or 3 times a week on Facebook, and they don't let me take uh, my videos from Facebook and upload them to YouTube. But YouTube will allow you to take the video you did on YouTube and paste it or upload it to Facebook. I don't know. I guess they got issues with each other. So I got all these videos in on Facebook because that's where I got the most attention paid to whatever I had to say. So I just keep doing them on Facebook. But I'm getting into some of the administrative parts of Facebook, and I figured out how to delete one uh, um, as opposed to archiving it. So if I say something that's inappropriate, I want to be able to delete it. And I got on that, and I finally learned how to do it. So I'm going to try to figure out how to get my Facebook videos uploaded to YouTube. Because if you want to upload a video, well, I just open up 2 windows, one for Facebook and one for YouTube. And I should be able to drag and drop a video from my Facebook archive, and I should be able to drag it over to the screen on YouTube and upload it that way. But they don't seem to accept it. So I'm either going to have to do more by phone and post them or upload them later, and something like that. But you know, I don't know. I got a lot of things to learn, so my mind is staying alert. See how that works? So I love you, and I hope you find what you were put down here for. And I hope these brothers and sisters on this channel will help you if you let them. All right. Love you. See ya.